Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is unfortunately Moshe. Today we are playing some Grand Theft Auto 5 once again, back at it with another Grotti Turismo World Championship recap video. Week 1's gone, moving on to week number 2, and as always, it's a 50-minute race with 2 pit windows, 30 seconds for each pit stop, and the starting order is a catch, though. It's a reversed grid order of the finishing order last week. So whoever started in first pretty much starts in last. If you didn't race, you start in last. If you DC'd, you start in last. So, moving on to the current standings after week number 1. As we can see, we have Design in front with 25 points. I'm in second with 18 points, and Shadows is in third with 15 points. Now, of course, Shadows did have a reserve last week, but he still gets the points. So, let's get right into it. Alright, so Shadows is about to throw a grenade to the right. On the explosion, we are going to leave. I'm starting in 11th because I finished second last race, so it only makes sense. The goal here is to stay out of trouble in the first lap and get around everybody we can. I get a pretty decent jump. I try to get past Copy right at the beginning. I get past them and then it looks like Design gets a ton of speed coming up to the right. They've got to go, and for some reason goes to the left. I'm standing on the inside, trying to stay cautious, you know, not cause too much trouble. Just roll through the corners. Try not to hit anybody in the back, spinning them out, so I don't have to wait for them. Get on the inside of Viddy, come to the right, going into this turn. I'm in 6th place already on the first lap, starting in 11th, so I managed to gain 50% of my starting position, which is not bad. Looks like Delgado, I think, has the Turismo glitch, so I don't know if I hit him right there, but he hits the barrier and then almost hits me in the back, which would have been awful. But either way, I'm in 5th place now. I've got a group of 4 people in front of me, and I think I have Frostmore right behind me. But either way, going into lap number 3 now, I still got the group of 4 in front of me. I'm coming up to this tricky right-hander with the oversteer in the middle, but Blaze ends up choking, and I get past him with the easy takeout, or easy overtake. Still have Frostmore right behind me, though, and just trying to catch up to this pack. You know, I'm just really waiting for them to screw up, really. Not a big deal if they do, but that's my overtaking idea. On to lap 5 now. Enforcer almost takes out Design, it looks like. But that would have been, you know, it would have helped me out getting past 2 people real quick, but he does not do that. Enforcer does lag in front of Kenrai, it looks like, getting the 2nd place spot. Looks like we're coming up to overtake, or lap Stig, in fact. I think he had the Turismo glitch for pretty much the whole race this week, unfortunately. Him and Delgado I think had the Turismo glitch, which kind of sucks. I mean, we practiced all week for a race and ended up, you know, waste. Kenrai fucks up right there. I get past him, so now I'm in 3rd with Enforcer in 1st and Designs in 2nd now. So really not a bad place to be in. You know, I'm in 3rd place after lap 5. Didn't really get caught up in any aids at the beginning, which I'm very fortunate enough to have that kind of start, which is, I mean, you don't really expect that starting on 11th. You expect to be like being caught up in everything, but I got fortunate, I guess. Design decides to oversteer here. I get the run on him, but I just do not have enough room to pass him. So we'll get through that chicane, still in 3rd. Let me go up to this chicane, and it looks like Design gets the run up on Enforcer and ends up passing it. So he's in 1st place now. We got Enforcer in 2nd, and I'm in 3rd. And only a couple seconds behind me. I'm not sure who is, but another red dot, unfortunately. Going into lap 7, a little bit closer to Enforcer now. See if I can pass him. He ended up lapping Delgado again. He had the Turismo glitch for most of the race. I get the curb, get past Enforcers, now I'm in 2nd place. So very fortunate to be in 2nd place by lap 7, especially starting in 11th place. And Design with a pretty decent gap. But either way, going into lap 15 now. Pit window is open. This is the last lap of the pit window. I do have to go in because I haven't pitched yet. Gotta wait 30 seconds, reminder, gotta wait 30 seconds for each pit. This is actually a clusterfuck pit because when I go in here, I am completely oblivious to what time I actually stopped. So like, and because I'm streaming right now, I'm like freaking out, like, holy crap, what time did I actually stop in the race? So I'm like checking the stream, trying to figure out what time I ended up leaving, or ended up stopping. I ended up deciding that I left, or got there at 38, which is 2 seconds before I got there. If you saw, I stopped at 40 seconds. So I should be leaving at 10 seconds. I ended up leaving at 1:03, which that is 7 seconds ahead of time. I'm like confused as fuck right now, wondering if that was like the right time to leave at. But come to the main straight, I think I ended up like slowing the pace down a little bit because I was just too worried that I left at the wrong time. So, and I realized that design has a gap of only 3 seconds to me, and that it was more than 3 seconds when we went into the pits. So yeah, on the main straight, I just like brake a couple times and wait until the gap increases from me in design, and that way, you know, no time penalties for me. So yeah, like, look how close he is right now. Like, there's no way he was that close whenever we started, or whenever that pit actually started. So as you can see, I stopped and, you know, kind of increased the gap a little bit, making it a little bit more fair. I apologize for leaving too early, but it's over now. Going into lap number 25, I've got the pit window still open. I notice a red dot getting increasingly closer to me now. I'm still in second, thankfully. I pull up the map and I notice it's Fancy Cub. So I got Fancy Cub really pacing up behind me, and I have more than half the race to go. So my thought process is now that next lap, since he didn't pit this lap, next lap he probably will be close to me, thus causing him to pit. So as you can see, he goes into the pit this lap. So because he has a faster pace and he's still behind me, and I still have a second ahead, I could probably, if I just go into the pit this next lap, this coming up, lap number 27, if I pit then, come out and have a super clean lap this lap, if I come out, I can still come out ahead of him. And because it's so hard to overtake people on this track, I can potentially hold him up, perhaps for 24 laps, or 14 laps, yeah. But that's like my thought process right now. As long as I can set a clean lap, we're in good shape. But coming up, that turns to be not the case. I ended up oversteering, unfortunately, and it was like one of the worst oversteers you can ever get. I come close to hitting, I think that was Funkier or Copyright, I don't know, they had the same car, but I think it was Funkier. I ended up coming close to hitting him, which would have been another disastrous moment. That would have really put me back. But coming up to the pit entrance now, he went into the pit last lap. I'm gonna pit this lap. I oversteer. I didn't even oversteer. I just hit the fucking barrier, man. I do like a full 180 or a 90-degree turn on a straight, and I lose probably about 5 seconds there. I go into the pit. I stop at, it looks like I stop at about 45 seconds on the lap counter, so I gotta wait 30 seconds, so at a minute 15 I can leave, which just might not be quick enough for Fancy Cub to come rolling around passing me. So as you can see, Fancy Cub just went straight past me at a minute 11. I have to wait 4 more seconds for that. I leave the pit and I am now in 4th place. Will be 3rd place, but you know. So now moving on to lap number 32. Fancy Cub, I think, finally gets in first, passes the design. And then unfortunately a couple laps later, design decides that he's had enough and will leave the race. Later that day, he posted on the event thread that he will be leaving the event. I would not like to see that in this event, just because it was so close it would make it a lot more interesting if he still was in the event. But I'm sure everybody else also would love to see him in the starting grid coming up next week. That's about the end of the race, you know, final lap coming up. I'm still in second because design left and Fancy Cub is in first. I do a little bit of fun stuff here, but I finished the race in second place, thankfully. I ended up not setting the fastest lap like I did last week, but not a bad finish, starting in 11th. And, you know, I've pretty much stayed consistent the whole fucking race. Like, I didn't really crash that much. I think I didn't crash. I crashed one time until the second pit, which, I mean, I'm very proud of that. Here are the finishing positions. As you can see, Fancy Cub got the lead, I got in second, and Frostworm got in third. So those are the points. Frostworm was actually reserving for Felipe this week, so Felipe will get in those 3rd place points. And actually, as it turns out, we now have a 3-way tie for 2nd place, with me with 36 in front, the Shadows, Design, and Fancy Cub all with 25. This could get really interesting really fast. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold a 1st place position in the standings for very long because, you know, I'm me. But with 3 guys tied at second place. It could get really interesting really fast. That's about all I got for this video. I thank you guys for watching, and I cannot wait to see you guys next week at Belligerent Streets. That's about it. I will see you guys later.